Hello, I'm Refashionista Sheri, and if you love all things vintage and thrifted and refashions and upcycles and DIYs, you're definitely in the right place, because that's all I do here is sustainable style everything, and I put out new videos every single week, so go ahead and subscribe. If you're not really sure where to start on your own refashionista journey, might I suggest checking out my rockin' Refashioning 101 e-course. Link will be down below for you. And you may remember this gorgeous pink vintage 80s style secretary's dress that I scored at a 50% off sale. If you missed my show and tell, it will be linked down below for you. But this is what we're working with today, because it's too tight across my chesticle area. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Maybe it'll still be a dress, maybe it'll be a blouse, but whatever we're doing, we're gonna upsize it. So let's go down to the studio and get making. For this hopefully quick and easy upsizing project, all you need is your too tight dress and your sewing gear. So your very first step is to figure out how long you want your soon-to-be finished top to be. And if you have a dress that is all one piece here, like it's not separated into a top and a skirt stitched together, then it's actually pretty easy. You can simply use a shirt that you like the length of, put it on top, and then mark the length plus a couple centimeters of seam allowance, and then go ahead and chop it to the right size. My dress was actually originally in two pieces, and then they stitched those together with an elastic. So I spent a couple of hours and I very carefully separated the top from the bottom. And when I was taking out this elastic, oh my goodness, it was so old and crusty and dusty. It was absolutely disgusting. Plus, there was also elastic here on the cuff, so I did remove that as well. But definitely, this is an easier project to do if you can simply just chop it and not have to faff about removing the top from the bottom plus a bunch of elastics. So once you have your top and the bottom of your dress separated, then you can set the bottom part aside for now, although we will need it to use to upsize the top. And then you're gonna flip your top inside out and check out those side seams. Now, these are actually quite thick and annoying, and a lot of unpicking needs to be done. So I am simply going to chop out the side seams from the bottom part all the way up through to the bottom of the cuff. So my entire side is going to be open. So I actually chopped out both sides, and then I can open it up, and both of my sides are totally open, and now I can easily attach my inserts. So let's go create them. So the first thing we need to figure out is how long we need our upsizing inserts to be. So for that, you can grab your tailor's measure or a ruler, or just eyeball it, because it's refashioning. Do what you want to do. It's all fun in the end anyway. So I grabbed my tailor's measure and I measured from the bottom of the blouse all the way to the sleeve cuff, and that is about 68-ish centimeters. And then I'm going to take that measurement and grab the bottom part of the dress that I chopped off there and measure that, and oh, that is lucky. It is just about the exact length that I need to create my upsizing inserts. So now that I have the length of my upsizing inserts, we can figure out the width. And to be honest with you, I rarely measure this part because I know how I like my tops and blouses to fit, and I can just figure out in my own little refashionista brain that I'm gonna need about 6 to 8 centimeters, but that is going to be entirely 6 to 8 centimeters. So I really only need 3 to 4 centimeters for each piece. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 5 centimeters. And then that way I have more than enough for seam allowance. So I'm just going to mark this here with a little pin, and then I shall chop out my panels. So now I have two pretty even upsizing inserts, and here's a quick refashionista tip for you. If you are unsure if your inserts are going to be long enough, simply unpick the bottom hem, because this originally was the skirt of the dress, right? So the bottom hem was there, and I just gave myself another few centimeters by unpicking that. And now I have no issue whatsoever that my inserts won't be long enough. So now let's go insert them. So you want to start with your shirt with the right side facing up and laying on a flat surface. Then move it on over so you have free access to one of the open sides. Then simply grab one of your inserts and line it up with the right sides facing. And of course the raw edges lined up here at one end. You can start at the cuff, you can start at the bottom, it really doesn't matter. And then you're just going to line it all up nicely like so and go stitch that all the way down. I'm going from cuff to the bottom, and then it will come back and see what it looks like. So I have one of my inserts stitched to one of my open sides, and it is looking fantastic. So let's just flip it down like so, and you can kind of get the idea here of how the insert is just going to be all along the side part here. Very, very easy. So now I have to flip it around and then match up my already stitched on insert with the other open side, and then go stitch that all together, and then repeat the whole process on the other side of the shirt. Now both of my side inserts are in, and the shirt is definitely more than big enough for me now. I am very pleased with this result, and I mean, you can see it just came out so nice. The insert is totally not noticeable at all because I use the same fabric, but this is too short. It would be very, very super duper cropped, so I gotta add something to the bottom. Luckily, I still have lots of this bottom fabric left. I actually have so much that if I wanted to, I could turn it back into a mini dress, but I don't want to do that. What I want to do is add a adorable little ruffle or panel or something to the bottom and also to the cuffs. So let's do that. So you can see here I have my remaining skirt piece laid flat, and I have one side folded over to create the bottom part for my blouse. And I'm being quite generous here because it's very short. So I need to have quite a wide length of fabric to create my bottom part. Now this by itself is wide enough and long enough just to go around, but it won't be ruffled up or anything. So I'm going to chop this piece out, and then chop this in half and stitch it together to create a long length, which I will then attach in ruffles around the bottom of my blouse. Well, that's the idea anyway. So I have created my long loop of fabric, and I'm now going to attach it to the bottom of my top. So here's another quick refashionista tip for you. When you are dealing with vintage or just anything really, make sure that you just do a quick once over of all of the existing seams, because you already have your sewing machine out because you're refashioning. So if you find a seam, like I found this one here on the sleeve that was coming apart, just quickly give it a once over, and then you don't have to worry about it coming apart in the future. So now let's get on to attaching the ruffle. So I'm going to do, of course, what I always do and just attach it using simple pin tucks. So I have my shirt right side out. I have my loop inside out, and I'm going to pop my shirt into my loop so the right sides will be facing. And then I'm going to take the side seam of the loop and I'm going to line it up as best as I can with the side seam area, because there is no side seam anymore, of the blouse here. And I'm going to pin that in place. and then I'm going to repeat that on the other side, so then I know how much fabric I will have to pin tuck along the bottom. So now that I have it all pin tucked together, I can finally go stitch the top to this bottom ruffle and then repeat the process using smaller loops on my sleeve cuffs, because as I said, I want to have little ruffles here too, so I think that's what I'm going to do. But if you're unsure how to do pin tucks, I shall link down below to one of the many tutorials I've already shared on my channel that show exactly the method I use to create my pin tucks. But now I'm going to go stitch it together. So my ruffle is now all stitched on, and I did go ahead and trim up the interior edges with my pinking shears. This fabric isn't really going to fray because it's like 1,000,000% polyester, but precautionary measures are always good to do, especially with vintage fabrics. And you guys, you're not gonna believe what I found in my stash to finish this off. Remember I said I wanted to do ruffles on the sleeves? I did not. I ended up putting on this adorable floral trim that I've had forever. And look, the colors are absolutely perfect. And you know what? I had enough left that I went around the top of my ruffle, so it's like an adorable little belt, and it's all the way around. And I absolutely cannot wait to go try this on and style it up. But I still have this much trim left, so I think I'm going to make it into an adorable accessory. So you can see there's exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little flowers here. So I'm going to cut it in half. And now look at that. What can I make out of this, I wonder? Instant earrings. I just grabbed these little faux pearls and I pop it through, and look, I have an earring. And I do the same on this side, and I have 2 absolutely adorable earrings that perfectly match my fabulous Refashion new to me shirt. So let's go try it all on and style it all up. Are you kidding me? This came out so much cuter than I thought it was going to. I was genuinely concerned about the bottom part as I was sewing it because it just wasn't cooperating. But I definitely think peeking in my stash and finding this amazing floral trim absolutely helped this shirt to, you know, turn into something absolutely fantastic. Do let me know down below what you think. And I'm sorry this is so dark, but we're having a cloudy day here, so I have to have the door open, so I have some lovely traffic sounds in the background as well. But what are you gonna do? I'm a refashionista. I pretty much just use whatever I have on hand, and that includes my lighting system. Feel free to leave me your suggestions and ideas, or if you have something in your house or your closet you just can't figure out how to refashion, let me know down below and I'll see if I have something similar, or I'll find something similar in the thrift shop and I shall do a tutorial just for you. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zigzag. Oh, wait, I totally forgot to show you my earrings. I mean, come on, how awesome did these come out?
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.